statement tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I apologize to Coach Pope. I thought we could put up more of a fight. I think our guys just didn't respond to some adverse situations that happened early in the game, and which things that I don't care what level you are, that good teams need to do. And I thought we could have come out and resisted a little bit much more than we did. And very finely tuned machine of a basketball team, but I'm not happy with our kind of spiritual effort tonight. So disappointing night for the Panthers, and like I said, I apologize to Coach Pope. I thought about, I'm talking as a guy that's been in Division II and Division III my whole life. I've never, I've had very few encounters with coaches at this level, at the high major levels, that are as humble as Mark Pope. Getting to know him through this process, and I ran into him in South Carolina. I had never met him before, and introduced myself to him, and the way he kind of made me feel like I was one of him. That doesn't happen every time you go up to coaches that quite frankly are make as much money as he does. So I will never forget that encounter. He's just so welcoming, and so I really appreciate him having us. And like I said, I apologize to him, apologize to Big Blue Nation that thought we could have prepared you guys a little bit much better than we did tonight.
Okay, let's have a question for the student athletes first. We have Edward Jones and Kennedy Miles are the leading scorers for Wesleyan. Jones 12 points and Miles with 10. If you have a question for the student athletes, please raise your hand.
Just for both of you guys, kind of a unique opportunity here. You're going against a team that's brand new, probably not a whole lot of film on Kentucky. Just how do you go about trying to prepare a team with 12 scholarship guys that had never played together before, and what was it like going up against them on the court tonight?
We did a lot of scouting on their team from last year, a lot of offense from BYU, where Mark Pope was at, and we tried to watch their blue and white scrimmages as well. And playing them out there, I mean, it was tough. They're physically, probably stronger in a lot of cases, but we just try to play hard as we can. I mean, they have a good offense, make a lot of reads, so we just try to go out there and play as hard as we can.
We've got one over here. Oh, hang on, wait for. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah. I think the biggest thing was trying to get to the pace. It's a different pace when it comes down to D2 and D1. Whether or not that means anything, we did not play the way we wanted to, but the scout was try to go over everything. All of them can shoot basically, and they showed that to us today. So we got to go back and do a little bit better and just as a team executing the scout. And it was a little harder because once again it was a brand new team. Only thing we could do was look at his offense in BYU. So we tried the hardest we could do, but they shot the lights out. So
coming into Rupp Arena for the first time this season, what's it going to be like for you all continuing your season, playing at the D2 level or D3, and being able to continue playing how you guys are playing as a team? What do you take forward from this game? How do you move on and kind of put this under your belt and just move forward and learn from what happened this game?
To be completely honest with you, we're not going to play no type of length like that. We can take advantage of that when it comes down to being better, prepared for things, and open more things that be open. I will say that we can take a lot out of this game. We turn the ball over way too much, and anybody knows basketball. You turn the ball over, you're not going to get a good chance of winning unless you hit shots, and we didn't do either or. So I think the biggest thing is we can kind of implement our game and how to be aggressive. Learning little things we got to go back and do. It's still a little early, but we did not prepare. We did not come in mentally ready to play as we were supposed to. So it's a more execution standpoint, and the little things is a big thing in basketball. So we got to do a little bit more of that.
Yeah, it's just like Kennedy said. I mean, those small things are going to matter. We're going to have to make a lot of adjustments. We're going to learn a lot from this game. Learning how to play with each other more, learn how to execute our offense, learn how to play tougher. I think that helps us, playing Kentucky, Power 5 school. But we have to play much tougher, execute our offense a lot more, and just be ready, execute and play games at D2 level.
I got any others? Not? Oh, sorry, I got one in the back. Yeah, it'll be last question for the players. Yep.
What does a game like this do to build the brand for the school?
It's huge for us. Playing University of Kentucky is huge for our community. Our community is really, really big on our basketball program, and it helps us a whole lot. Like Coach said, we didn't come out and give our best foot forward, but it's huge for our program. It's huge for our community.
I think it's also big too. Even though that the championships is what everybody talks about, this adds on to more exposure for us. For our community, we did not play the best that we wanted to. So I apologize to all Owensboros and everybody that was here also that were supporting us. We did not play to our best of our ability. So I'm sorry that you came and watch that for us. It's not a stepping stone that we want to take at all. So this is a big opportunity that we did not fulfill fully, in my opinion. And I think we can build on that and realize how much it takes us to win or get close to winning.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Get back to the locker room.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Ready to get with the coach right here?
Thanks, guys. I think all but 3 of the regulars that played attempted a 3, and 7 made one in the game. What is the challenge like, facing a team that has that many guys willing to shoot it? Well, they were very unforgiving. I mean, every mistake that we made, it was just push, and it was one after the other, and so it was seemed like a very well-rounded roster, and that's part of us making our bed. Like, they're already the University of Kentucky, and when we make mistakes, we talk a lot about giving the other team confidence. It may look like a 4 or a 5 point swing on the books, but really, in terms of momentum and getting the individual basketball players to play with a very, very high level of confidence, that is. I guess that you guys can thank me for that. We gave your guys a lot of confidence tonight, and but truthfully, it was they came off the bench with guys that performed and made plays, and we made mistakes and they capitalized. It didn't seem to me like they didn't capitalize on 4 out of 5 of them. They capitalized on all 5, and so that's the one thing that stands out there.
Coach, we're new to this team as well. What would be your scouting reports to the teams that are going to play them next? Because there's all brand new to us as well.
Yeah, they have, gosh, it's an unbelievable task to bring that amount of talent in and then mesh and get them playing cohesive basketball. Because you're asking players that don't really, in some cases, don't know one another to sacrifice for one another. And, to have 32 assists and 5 turnovers, that's symbolic of a team that plays with no agenda other than just making the play that they're doing over and over and over in practice. And so it was, I'm sure on their side it was good basketball to watch. Nobody was really doing things that were out of their element or really even trying to take the game over. They were just making the right play. So again, we were not perfect, but when you have a team that shoots that field goal percentage and has those assists and the few of turnovers, it tells you that the team is not like pressing themselves offensively to do too much. They're just playing within the system, and I think UK did that beautifully tonight.
Okay, we'll go with Cameron, then Ryan and Ben. Be done. Yep.
Drew, just a similar question to what I asked your players. Obviously, probably a unique scout for you from a coaching perspective. No film really on Kentucky as a cohesive team from last year. So how did you approach that? Was it a lot of showing them BYU film, the blue-white scrimmage? Just how'd you go about trying to get you guys prepared for what happened tonight?
Yeah, we tried to find clips of the blue-white scrimmage, but that wasn't really out there. And yeah, we watched BYU from last year. We watched personnel edits from all the new players. I'd never seen that. This is my third time playing UK, and it was I didn't, as much as I'm a Kentucky guy, I don't follow. I'm morphed into my own program, but so when I was putting it together, our starting lineup we anticipated a starting lineup, and I was obviously I had Bria in for Amway, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, but to look at grad, I had never seen anything like that. So obviously a very experienced team. We knew they were going to be very polished and physical. So yeah, it was just trying to piece together a puzzle and assume they're going to run some of the same stuff against BYU. And we lost the game. We said we're not trying to beat Kentucky tonight. We're trying to beat the game of basketball. And that meant not turning the ball over. That meant, early in the second half, they just ran a very simple back screen to a lob. We just didn't offer, nearly the resistance that we needed to offer defensively for UK to, come in and really prepare for what they're going to see early in the season. So I hope they give us another shot down the road. But, wish we could have done better for them tonight.
Drew, a very similar question to what you were just asked, and that was kind of more about the preparation. But how did you guys go about trying to simulate that style in practice when there's just not really many teams that played in that fashion?
No, I actually felt optimistic because we have a veteran group as well that obviously we've played in the Yum Center. We play Western Kentucky. We play Western Kentucky later this year. We played St. Louis last year. So I was optimistic that our veteran guys wouldn't be overwhelmed by the moment. But I will say, of any exhibition we've played, the atmosphere was, extremely electric. And this felt like a real college basketball game tonight. Usually when you walk out in October 23rd, October 24th, it's a third full or a quarter of the way full, and it just, you don't get that college basketball feel. But this was a different type of feel within an exhibition game, so that was a first for us.
Okay, last one, Ben.
Drew, you mentioned the cohesiveness out there. Were you surprised by that level with what 11, 12 brand new players who've never been teammates, that level of cohesiveness? And then also, how difficult is it to prepare for a team that everybody can pass? The starting center gets 5, 6 assists. Down the line, everybody can make those assists.
I wasn't surprised. I was I'll tell you what, I was surprised that they only hit 8 threes in the first half. It felt like 14 to me. And I wasn't surprised because you watch BYU and you see the direction that this is going, and it's such a cliche that some of the parts are greater than the whole or whatever. You got really, really good basketball players that are bought into a system and sacrificing individual agendas to make an extra pass or to cut hard. Even if they're not going to be the scorer in the play, they cut hard and they do things and they create opportunities for their teammates that made it very difficult. So that's kind of what we saw when we were watching BYU from the film last year, and tonight it very much resembled that. They got some, to your point though, they got some really high IQ basketball players that we try to go under, and we did try to mix it up in some ways, but wasn't good enough.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.